Good morning, students of class 9th. Welcome to our geography period. We had recently begun with the new chapter in our geography named as precipitation, which is lesson number 5. In yesterday's session or in my previous videos, we discussed about the concepts like condensation, sublimation. Fine. We also studied how snow falls, one of the precipitations, which is snowfall. We also studied that there are 3 types of precipitation. We studied what is precipitation and the 3 types, that is the snowfall, rainfall and hailstones. So in today's session, we are going to study how hailstones are formed. In yesterday's session, we studied how snow falls, how snow is formed up in the sky, and how in what climatic conditions they remain the same, they remain intact in the form of snow and fall down on the ground. We understood all this. In today's session, let us move further and study more about the next precipitation, which is hail. So let me again draw your attention to the picture of the hailstone. You can see these are the hailstones, which are no different than the stones when it comes to weight. They are heavy and then they can cause destruction. They can cause harm to crops and also to living beings. So let us see in what circumstances hailstones are formed or are precipitated from the clouds. When there is lot of heat on the earth's surface, the upward air flow blows at a greater speed. Because of this upward flow, the temperature of the air reduces and the condensation of the water vapor takes place. Dark clouds are formed. Because of the upward movement of air, these water droplets go to a higher altitude. Here, solidification of these droplets occur and hailstones are formed. As hailstones are heavy, they fall towards the ground. But because of the frequent upward flow of air, they are repeatedly taken upwards. Here, a new layer of snow encapsulates the hail. This happens quite a few times. Hence, concentric layers are formed while the hail grows in size. These big heavy hailstones fall repeatedly to the ground because of gravity. We call the precipitation of this type as hail showers. Because of hail, crops may get destroyed and loss of life and property may also occur. So this was the explanation about the hailstones. Let me show you in detail with the help of a diagram. So what did they say in the beginning? That when there is a lot of heat on the earth's surface, the upward air flow blows at a greater speed. So children, in summer season you must have noticed that it is very airy outside. You see a lot of dust coming in the house. Haven't you noticed this? Yes, you may have noticed this. So why does this happen? Let me tell you. In summer season, the air lacks in humidity. Humidity means the amount of water vapor in the air, right? So in summer season, due to excess heat, what happens? The water vapor in the air, that means the water droplets get dried up, okay? And therefore, very less amount of water vapor can be seen in the air during summer season. But absolute zero does not exist. In the same manner, I told you that very less amount of water vapor will be seen or will be found in the air in summer season. Fine. So what happens now? Because very less amount of water vapor is there in the air becomes light in weight. And light things, can move very fast, isn't it? Similarly, this light air moves very fast. Now you know that air is made up of various gases, isn't it? Yes. it is. So all these gases which comprise to make air, okay, so we call it air. So this hot air, which is light in weight, will go where? It will start moving or blowing upwards towards the sky at greater speed. Fine. So how is the temperature of the air? It is hot. Now this hot air, which is so very light in weight and with very less kind of humidity, that is very less water vapor, it will go up in the sky, and you know that at some point of time the atmospheric temperature up in the sky will be very, very less. It will be so less that it will be even below the freezing point. Below freezing point means what? How much? Below 0 degrees centigrade. So when warm air or hot air comes in contact with the cold air, what happens, children? Condensation takes place, isn't it? So condensation will take place, and therefore what will happen? It will precipitate. But now what has happened is these water droplets which were present in the air and now got settled up in the sky, okay, have formed clouds because they got mixed with the dust particles. So they have formed a bag. We call it as clouds. And we also studied why clouds look blackish or grayish black in color, because this air mixes with, or the water droplets present in the air mix with the dust particles, and therefore when they settle up to some atmospheric layer, there they settle, and then because of the dust particles they start looking blackish or grayish black in color. Fine. And therefore clouds appear to be grayish or blackish in color down to us. Fine. So when these layers go up, when these water droplets settle down up in the clouds, that time the temperature is so less, as I said, it is below freezing point. So what will happen to the water molecules or with the water vapor that was brought by the air? They will start converting into snowballs, isn't it? And then it will precipitate in the form of snow. So it is falling down. But what is happening at the same time? So let me just draw. This is the ground where the temperature is very, very high. So the air which is very light in weight will move upwards, isn't it? In upwards direction. This is sky. Let's say these are the clouds. Okay. Now when this hot air with some amount of humidity, that is with some amount of water vapor, touches this temperature, this part of the sky, what will happen? It will, the warm air or hot air coming in contact with cold air, condensation will take place. So the water droplets brought by this hot air will start forming will start converting in the form of snow, and then it will start falling down. Small tiny balls of snow will start falling down from the clouds. Fine. But what is going up? Hot air. It is a continuous process. It is frequent process, okay, that this hot air is going up. So this hot air has so much of thrust of force that it again pushes these snowballs up back in the sky. Okay, and again what happens when this, assuming that this ball has been brought back up again over here. So it is here. Okay, let's say it is here now. So what will happen? There will be many other water droplets which are turning into snowflakes, isn't it? So they will join with each other, isn't it? They will get in touch with each other and then they will stick to each other, and now the size of this snowball will increase. Now again with the weight or with the gravity it will fall down again. Okay, and again what is happening? The hot air is pushing it up again. So this will again be brought here. Okay, assume that it has been brought here again, or let's say it was here. Okay, so now again what has happened? There are many other snowballs here, tiny snowballs. They stick to this ball. Okay, and now the size keeps on increasing of this snowball. Now it will again fall down because of the gravity and weight. Again the air will push it up. So it will keep on happening until the ball has become very big, very heavy, and is able to resist the the flow of the hot air. When this is so heavy that then in that circumstances or in that time, in that situation, this hailstone, okay, now there are layers of ice, and we have already studied when a snow is called as ice, when there are multiple layers of snow encapsulating the snowball. That time it will be called as ice. So then this ice ball becomes very heavy, and then finally it doesn't even pay any heed to this resistance brought by the hot air. Then it will fall down because of the gravity and the weight. And this is how hailstones are, this is how we see hailstones showering down the ground. I hope you have you have understood how hailstones are formed. If not, then please let me know. I'll try to help you or explain you in another better way. See you in the next session. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.